Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Y'all Heard podcast. I'm Ella Burke, your host, and happy Tuesday. It is currently Monday when I'm filming, which is a bit later in the game than I normally film. But to be honest, the past 48 hours, honestly, the past week of my life has just been like a little more busier than normal. But past 48 hours of my life have been my own personal hell with a lot of good sprinkled in there. But yeah, I digress, like my own personal hell. So we had a fabulous weekend at the lake with our dear friends. Really a blast. Got to hang out, get out on the water, get some sun, used SPF, of course. We hate skin cancer in this studio. But yeah, Saturday rolls around. We're having a good time on the lake. I get hit in the mouth with the wakeboard rope. You can't really see the bruise right now, but I swear it's there. I just covered it up with makeup. But yeah, I got hit with in the mouth with a wakeboard rope. That wasn't that fun. I'm just glad it didn't knock my teeth out, but I was like, it's okay. Like, what can you do? And then like a short brief, probably 30 minutes later, I am getting off of the boat and I'm helping collect trash. And making sure everybody else gets off. Mind you, I'm not inebriated. I'd keep it a buck with you if I were, but I wasn't. And I turn and my phone falls out of my hand. Not fall, I would say more or less flies out of my hand into the water after we had already docked the boat. So it's like, what are the odds? You'd think it either hit the dock, land on solid ground. No, I just see mine and Carson's faces just sinking in the water to the very depths of 164 feet of Grand Lake, Oklahoma. And I'm just like what? So yeah, no, that was absolutely insane. I really took hang up and hang out to a whole new level this weekend. Honestly, a good little dopamine detox. Not mad about it. I got to read on my Kindle a lot, which was great. And my MacBook, like major iPod vibes. My MacBook has now become my own personal cellular device up until my device is hopefully delivered today or tomorrow. They gave me a tracking number, but like I can't track it for whatever reason. Put into UPS several times. But yeah, I'm alive, thank God. So still had a blast. So much fun with my friends. Good times. And, just making the best of it. I feel like Ella probably 2 to 5 years ago would have definitely had a major crash out moment and probably brought the fury and flaming wrath of hell upon everyone. But I didn't. I, just took it, went with it. I have insurance. I'm able to get a new one. It's fine. All good in the hood. So, not that definitely a pretty major inconvenience to do a lot of my work from my phone. And, my dad is an Android, refuses to get an iPhone. What the hell, Patrick? So here I am, having to ask Carson or my friends for their phones every 5 seconds to call my dad and, get this whole phone sitch figured out. But we finally head home from the lake. I'm reading my Kindle. We get back to our friend's house where our car's parked. And I'm just like, I'm ready to shower, get in bed. I didn't shower after we had gotten back from the lake on Sunday, back to the lake house, just because I was like, I'll just shower before I get into bed. Well, I just got in my car currently 3 months ago, and I don't leave my lights on inside. So I'm really not sure exactly what happened. And it's on auto, so I don't really know. But lo and behold, I try and unlock my car, nothing works, nothing turns on, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe the key fob's dead. Well, I pull the little metal part of the key fob out and stick it in the manual part of the door to unlock the door. I'm able to get into the car. The car's not turning on, and it's not locking or unlocking from the inside. So I'm like, well shit, here we go. And we jump the car. Thank God one of our friends was still there. Jumped the car. We got it turned on. Well, I have like 10 miles of gas left. So nearest gas station's like 3 miles away. So anyways, I have to turn my hazards on like a total loser on main roadways of Edmond, Oklahoma, and just trudge along to the gas station. My poor boyfriend, shout out Carson, keeping me calm and being my north, really. And we pull into the good old Phillips 66, and I'm thinking, okay, we're just going to leave the car running. I'm going to put gas in it, and then we're just going to get the hell home, like, get this battery charged a little bit. The battery's from February of 2025, by the way. So, not really too sure why the hell it would be dead. But again, I very well could have maybe not closed the door all the way. Lights were left on. I don't know. But normally, like, that's not the case. Or with me at least. And so we pull up to the Phillips 66. Carson gets out to put gas in there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just one thing after another. This is like a running joke at this point now. Like, we've texted in the group chat, everybody's like, there is actually no effing way that this is happening to you. And I was like, guys, I know. I will take partial responsibility because I did definitely speak it into existence when I said, oh, it's not like it could get any worse. Like, it definitely could, and it did. So, thanks God for the swift kick in the ass. Like, I really appreciate it. And yeah, so Carson presses on the fuel door. It's one of those doors where you like push it in and then it pops out. Put the good old pump in the gas tank. And well, the fuel door wasn't opening, couldn't put gas in it. So there my car is running under the awning of the gas station next to the pump, and I can't even put gas in my car. You would think that there's like a manual little switch. I mean, we went like knee deep into the Reddit threads, like Chat GPT. I mean, every resource in the book. I called Oklahoma Roadside Assistance and was like, how the hell do I open the fuel door on my 2023 Volvo XC60? Like, I mean, giving every single detail of the car possible. I don't know if it's Swedish vehicles. I don't know if they don't have problems with their fuel doors over here, but this was a moment in which I was having a major one with mine. So definitely going to keep it a buck. Was on the brink of like breaking down and losing it. Managed to keep my cool most of the time. I'm not going to say the whole time I was cool, but better than what 2 to 5 years ago I would have been. I probably one minor inconvenience and I'm like, oh my God, like my life's over. It wasn't though. It's all good. And anyways, so we sit there for about an hour and a half while my car's still on. I don't know how it's on still at this point. And it just got to the point where we decided that Veronica, the Volvo, needed to have a sleepover at the Phillips 66 for the evening, and we called an Uber. Uber pulls up. I'm kind of starting to panic because, like, I can't even lock my doors. Like, there's not a manual lock from inside the car. Somebody can totally, like, womansplain, mansplain to me in the comments how to manually lock that type of car, but I don't think there was really an option, to be honest. I mean, like, I tried like everything. Cause with the metal part of the key, it only unlocks the front door, locks and unlocks the front door. That's about it. The other 3 doors, like, you're kind of screwed. So the guy pulls up, I pull the car up out of the awning, had at least enough gas to do that. And, pull it up to the thing, go inside, talk to the very nice girl at the counter, and I'm like, please tell your owner, like, do not tow my car. Like, I will come and get this taken care of in the morning. This is just not an issue for Sunday night at 9 p.m. And she's like, no, totally get it. I'm so sorry. Like, you're all good. So, like I said, Uber pulls up, ADHD, Uber pulls up, and I finally use the key fob again. And the whole other time, it has not been locking and unlocking. Oh, no, like, as soon as we've paid $20 to have an Uber take us from Edmond to mid OKC, my car's, like, locking and unlocking again, and guess what pops open? Lo and behold, the mother effing fuel door. Like, awesome. It's so great. And I was just at that point, I didn't even want to screw with it anymore. I was like, we're just going to leave it here. I'll come figure it out in the morning. God bless our sweet interns at work. They took me this morning, and somehow my battery is totally fine. Put gas in the car. It works just as good as new. Got it tested at AutoZone, and the guy's like, well, I don't even know what you thought was wrong with it. And I was like, trust, there were plenty of things wrong with it last night. I mean, like, you would have thought that this car was going to blow up the way that it sounded while we were driving it. With the combo of, like, the minimal amount of gas that was in there, and also the fact that the battery was, like, probably almost dead. Yeah, no, it wasn't sounding too good. Veronica sounded a little sick. So I think it was awesome. If you look at my current thread of text messages on my MacBook, of course, because I'm phoneless, hang up and hang out, love it. the thread of text messages that I have, or like the list of text messages I have with like all of my friends, my mom, my dad, my uncle Brock, my little sister, my boss. Um, Carson didn't need to be texted because I mean he was with me the whole time. So thank God. I'm sure he would have had just as crazy of a reaction. But no, it's really funny looking at it. It's Ella. Oh my God, what Ella? This is not real. I am so sorry this is happening to you. Literally, what the hell? I mean, I quite literally. I mean, I said a lot of naughty no words in front of this Uber when I was, just shooting the shit with my dad on the phone. And I literally said, I need a sage, incense, what have you, enema, like through my ass, out my mouth, vice versa. Like I need to be cleansed of whatever bad juju has decided to brood over me, and say a lot of prayers, like a lot of them, and have other people pray for me because, you know, I think everybody relates to the whole message of like when it rains, it pours with bad events. I mean, like my whole year of 2021 truly was raining and pouring. I had to put my childhood dog down the day before prom. My pawpaw, who's like glue of our family, number one, passes away like unexpectedly after 3 weeks getting a third time cancer diagnosis, which was like absolutely insane. Parents getting divorced, moving away to college away from home for the first time, having to start long distance with my boyfriend. I mean, like, but again, I recognize life could be a lot worse. I was very privileged enough to be able to go to college, be able to have a support system that carried me through all of those events. I mean, but man, like, talk about a kick in the ass. And I mean, it's really just been the plague of the past 48 hours. I mean, it really was like the sea turning into blood and frogs and measles and bumps and what have you. I mean, just wild. But it's a good testament and lesson of patience. And it also lets me kind of reflect and be like, it's nice to know that I've grown and become more patient in the time that I have been alive the past 2 to 5 years, because I genuinely think I probably would have let it be my demise had those things happen to me in the sequence of events that they occurred, and at the pace in which they were happening. Yeah, no, it was rather wild, truly, to say the least. And yeah, I think all in all, the disruption of this said plague was really just to push comfort, challenge my patience, if you will. And also, I really think a lot of these things have been a great test of my relationship with my sweet dear boyfriend, because I mean, we got in a little car accident day 2 after living together. And just, kind of dropping my phone in the lake, obviously that's not fun. And he's like, dear God, Ella, like, why, or what is this? Just, we've had the opportunity to exercise a lot of patience with one another and also commend each other on the growth that we've seen throughout our relationship. I mean, we've been dating almost 5 years now in August, which is like crazy. So we really have grown up together and, kind of been pushed to grow in the same direction as well. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but I mean, we've been able to praise each other in terms of, hey, like, you did really great handling this versus what you would have 2 years ago. Or, hey, like, way to be positive and way to keep cool in a situation. Like, we've always kind of been yin and yang. While one person's freaking out, the other is calm. While one's calm, the other is calm. We normally don't both freak out. I mean, there might be an on occasion where we both freak out, but no, we're pretty good about that. So definitely a great test of patience and strength for sure. Not only for our relationship, but also just like personally for me. But yeah, it makes, when things like that happen, and those aren't even really, really big things, but it makes, other things in everyday minor inconveniences seem a lot smaller and a lot more manageable. Gives you a lot of good perspective. But yeah, an at lake burial of my phone. I mean, that just felt like a bad omen, like watching just it sink and seeing my face on it. It's just like, I mean, I can't even illustrate the moment. And everybody's just like, jaws were on the dock. Quite literally, we're just like, what do you do? Truly. you roll with it, roll with the punches. And kind of going back to the last episode we talked about with like my 10 lessons I've learned post grad, not everything is that deep. I can sit here all day and say that I've had bad juju come over me. I mean, maybe some negative spiritual presence has decided to pinpoint me out of a crowd and go hard in the paint on me and my luck. But, you know, again, sometimes when it rains, it pours. Life just throws challenges at you, and you just kind of got to roll with the punches. And that's what I do. There are plenty of people that watch this that have seen me in times of crisis that know damn good and well I have not handled it well in the past. But again, this is just a great documentation of my journey of growth. And I'm able to see, you know, addition of patience and perspective throughout said journey, and just better appreciate, you know, the skills I've acquired along the way. But yeah, what a shit show 48 hours. Aside from the good that was sprinkled in there, we had great times with my friends, so many good times, a lot of celebration. Our friends are getting married, which is great. A lot of that in my life, actually. Celebration of love, birthdays, all the things. There are so many good things to look forward to and to focus on. And these are just very, very tangible, but also just fleeting. You know, they're objects that honestly don't really mean that much in the grand scheme. And we made so many memories this weekend. And I can't wait to be able to talk about this with them one day, which, I mean, really could be today. I'm over it at this point. Handled it all. I've done what I could do. And now I'm just here. And just be like, man, don't know what the hell happened to you that weekend, but we sure did have a good time. But yeah, it just finding little pockets of joy and excitement in the chaos, I've gotten a lot better at. There are a lot of times I think in my life where I've had bad things happen to me, and I just think that hell is raining down on me, God hates me, what have you. It's not true at all. You know, just bad things happen to good people, and you know, I might need to fuel a bit of goodness into my karmic what have you. I think that leads me into a more broader, please, grammar queen right here, and I'm saying more broader by a more broad perspective as well in terms of the world and the current events happening right now. For me, it's really hard to focus on the good that's occurring every day in the world on a larger scale, just with war breaking out, you know, not so great people leading our nation, and just a lot of loss of sight of humanity and just the bigger picture, I think. And when things like this are happening on a smaller scale, I think it better leads me to think about my everyday when I'm reading up on these current events, looking at the news. I love that page that I believe John Krasinski from The Office, King, love him, Jim, started. And it's called Some Good News. And it's just things that people submit every day that happen that are good, whether it's happening in a community, a state, on a really like local, small, in the house level even. And I think it just gives me hope in humanity. And there are a lot of interactions I have day to day that give me more hope in humanity. But it definitely makes me realize that we've got to find good, but also know that we have the resources to be better in the areas that we're not. And yeah, it's honestly, it's all a big fat web of interlaced meanings and ideas and just lessons to be learned. But you can definitely say my patience has been tested in the past 48, but thank God I had awesome friends, awesome boyfriend with me. Shout out to my boss who I called and I was like, you've got a guy for everything. Like, please tell me what the hell to do. I've went in every Reddit thread possible and I am SOL. And yeah, it's just good to have people that are incessantly supporting you, lifting you up, and making you forget about all the crazy shit that's going on that may not be so good. But yeah, today's episode was definitely more of a rant sesh, if you will, and just a demonstration of the shit show that my life can be sometimes, as it can with everyone. But like I said, I was gonna post an Instagram story actually of the Find My iPhone, where you could literally see my phone in the lake where it was buried, I guess you could say. And I probably still will do that. Unfortunately, MacBook just does not have the feature where you can go on the Instagram browser and post an Instagram story. You can post a post though, but I'm not sure I want that on my timeline. My main timeline for everyone to see. It ruins my aesthetic a bit, if you will. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in today. I would love to hear about your shit show stories and things that happen in your life, advice that you have that you'd like to tell other people, lessons that you want to share with others. And also, if you're interested in coming on and yapping, why don't you hit me up? We're in the early phases of this thing, and I'm willing to get a lot of variety on here. Just want to be able to have some other people in the chair that we can just shoot the shit, exchange stories, laughs, lessons, good stuff. So yeah, feel free, unironically yet again, like, subscribe, share. Thanks for tuning in to Y'all Heard, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.